This is an iHeart podcast.
You know who it is, Brandon Kyle Goodman. But this Pride Month, call me Messy Mother. On my podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, I'm diving into all the juicy stories and sizzling hot tea that'll make you want to live your life liberated and free. Nothing is off the table for our messy kikis. Plus, I'll be joined by star-studded guests like T.S. Madison and dragging messy stories out of guests like the one and only Katya. Ooh, I can't wait to get messy with you. Listen to Tell Me Something Messy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Show me how good it can get today, God, and show the rest of the world what we already know. It can't get no better than being hella black, hella queer, and hella Christian. My name is Joseph Reeves. I am the creator and host of Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian, a fully black, fully queer, fully human, fully divine podcast from iHeartMedia. To Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Why is a soap opera western like Yellowstone so wildly successful? The American West with Dan Flores is the latest show from the Meat Eater Podcast Network. So join me starting Tuesday, May 6th, where we'll delve into stories of the West and come to understand how it helps inform the ways in which we experience the region today.
Listen to The American West with Dan Flores on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The OGs of Uncensored Motherhood are back and badder than ever.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
And we're the hosts of the Good Moms Bad Choices podcast, brought to you by the Black Effect Podcast Network every Wednesday.
Yeah, we're moms, but not your mommy.
Historically, men talk too much.
And women have quietly listened.
And all that stops here.
If you like witty women, then this is your tribe. Listen to the Good Moms Bad Choices podcast
every Wednesday
on the Black Effect Podcast Network, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you go to find your podcast.
Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Arapaho way, you got to pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It is time now for today's Strawberry Letter, and if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now, and you never know, it could be yours.
It could be yours. Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, Strawberry Letter.
Thank you, nephew. Subject: I'm tired of hiding from the truth. Dear Steve and Shirley, I've been sleeping with my married best friend for almost 15 years. He and I have been friends since high school, and we're in our late 50s now. No one suspects anything, and we're able to have sex in his house while his wife is home. I even have a key to their house to take care of their dog whenever they travel. Oh, yeah. I'm about to get married for the second time, and my best friend, who loves me dearly, is jealous. He said that I will get married and cut him off sexually, but I tried to tell him that won't be the case. We were texting back and forth about how things will go once I'm married, and my fiance read all of our texts. He said that he figured we were messing around, and since he has proof now, we should go to counseling before we get married. He was acting like it's no big deal, so I asked him why he was so calm, and he said that he has a side chick too. He was relieved that I had been doing the same thing because he said it was killing him to cheat on me repeatedly. We're done with hiding from the truth. And he said if I'm going to keep messing with my best friend, then I need to let his wife know what's going on. He said at our ages, we need to be sexual with whoever suits our fancy because life is short. I love the two men in my life for different reasons, and each one is so different in the bedroom. I told my lover that it's time for us to be honest with his wife. He said that will never happen, and if she ever found out about us, he'd have to end the relationship with me. But what if his wife is cool like my fiance and she's okay with it? I can't see my life without my lover. So what should we do here? What? Okay. You know what? Thank you so much for this letter, because it just further proves that we're living in just crazy times. You got a lover, your fiance has a lover, your lover has a wife, and what? Okay. Nothing that I can ever say will make you stop, but I will tell you this. This man who you think is your best friend, is not your friend. And the bigger part is he doesn't care about you like you think he does. You said he loves you dearly and he's jealous. Nope. He's not going to tell his wife, because that's who he loves and that's who he cares about. You're his side piece. Remember, he cares about his wife's feelings. He doesn't want to lose her. You, on the other hand, are expendable, but wifey isn't in this situation. And you don't think his wife suspects anything? Anything? Your fiance said he figured you guys were messing around. So why wouldn't his wife? And she has intuition, okay? Although I can't imagine you guys having sex in her house. That is crazy and way too risky. You could die, okay? I'm just going to say it. You would be wise to get somewhere and sit down like my mom used to tell me, but not for this. But she used to tell me that for other stuff. Leave this married man alone. But I know you won't. I know you're not going to. If he does tell his wife, it will not be the happy situation your fiance thinks it's going to be. I think he's a low-key swinger anyway, and he wants everybody to just swing and you guys be just a happy foursome here. But this is a mess. You don't need any advice from me. You're tired of hiding the truth. Wait till you tell his wife and see what's going to happen, unless she has a side piece too. Tommy?
In order for this to work, I mean, and I'm trying to help, you know what I mean? Because I know you want it to work. You started out doing something and you just, you want this to work. I'm pulling for you because I'm always about what people want in life, and people want different things, and this is what they want. So in order for this to work, everybody has to have a side piece. You see what I'm saying? So everybody has to bring that to the table. So I don't know if we need to have a side piece meeting, but a come to side piece meeting. We need a come to side piece meeting. All right. And here's what I think you all should do. You guys should sit down and have a meeting. But more importantly, you got to bring somebody in that can talk to y'all about these type of things. Because if you're going to do it, you want to do it right.
Like a therapist?
No, not necessarily a therapist, just somebody that's going through this. See, I think you should call Neo. I think Neo should come in and be the spokesperson.
Show them how it's done.
And show you how this is done. Neo has proven that 4 or 5 people can live under the same roof and have a great time. It's tested and proven. Neo is doing it. They go out together. They go everywhere together. They cooking and cleaning together. It can be done. But now, this wife that don't know, we've got to somehow figure out if she's with us or is she not with us. You know what I mean? And then we may have to let the wife go. But we can't have nobody that's not. Hey, sometimes you gotta let some things go to get the big picture. If it's what you really want, sometimes you gotta let some things go. You know what I mean?
And your wife is one of them.
Shirley, they can't be too attached if we still over here messing around with the side piece. All right? So
15 years.
If you really want this to go, I can reach out to Neo. I let him come holler at y'all and sit down and walk y'all through the steps of being together where all of you all are happy, and it can be done. If this is what you want, this is not for everybody, but for this group right here in this letter, this is what makes them happy. They want to do this person, then do that person, and then do that one over there. And they don't even know that one, but we're going to do that one too. That's what they want. I'm not like Uncle Steve that'll tell you the hell wrong with y'all. Why y'all can't get one person? What the hell is going on today?
Hang on, nephew. We'll have part 2 at 23 minutes after the hour. We'll hear from Junior. Subject is, I'm tired of hiding from the truth. We'll get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You know who it is, Brandon Kyle Goodman. But this Pride Month, call me Messy Mother. On my podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, I'm diving into all the juicy stories and sizzling hot tea that'll make you want to live your life liberated and free. Nothing is off the table for our messy kikis, be it cringy dates, best sex practices, family drama, or cultivating self-love. Plus, I'll be joined by star-studded guests like T.S. Madison.
How can we not judge ourselves?
You just gotta tell yourself, like, girl, how old are you, bitch? And I love me a lot because
you do.
Bitch, I love these motherfucking back rolls. What are they? Back rolls.
Back rolls.
And dragging messy stories out of guests like the one and only Katya.
I also got into the habit of wearing butt plugs to the gym.
Tell me about this.
Well, and I also work out with butt plugs in quite a bit because, like,
tell me everything.
Well, it's just first it feels good.
Yes.
And then second, it's like my little secret.
TMI, please tell me more. Every week we'll create a compassionate space to share the fullness of who we are. Ooh, I can't wait to get messy with you. Listen to Tell Me Something Messy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Show me how good it can get today, God, and show the rest of the world what we already know. It can't get no better than being hella black, hella queer, and hella Christian. My name is Joseph Reeves. I am the creator and host of Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian, a fully black, fully queer, fully human, fully divine podcast that explores society, culture, and the intersections of faith and identity. Listen to Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian to hear conversations about what it means to sound the way you look.
I think what I've had to make peace with is that every iteration of my voice is given to me by God, and I love it.
Books that validated our identity.
The library now for me is a safe space as someone who is writing books that they're trying to take off of shelves.
And how we as black queer folks relate to our Christianity. Listen to Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The American West with Dan Flores is the latest show from the Meat Eater Podcast Network, hosted by me, writer and historian Dan Flores, and brought to you by Velvet Buck. This podcast looks at a West available nowhere else. Each episode, I'll be diving into some of the lesser-known histories of the West. I'll then be joined in conversation by guests such as Western historian Dr. Randall Williams and best-selling author and Meat Eater founder Stephen Ranella.
I'll correct my kids now and then where they'll say when cave people were here. And I'll say, it seems like the Ice Age people that were here didn't have a real affinity for caves. You know?
So join me starting Tuesday, May 6th, where we'll delve into stories of the West and come to understand how it helps inform the ways in which we experience the region today.
Listen to The American West with Dan Flores on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
What happens when we come face to face with death?
My truck was blown up by a 20-pound anti-tank mine.
My parachute did not deploy.
I was kidnapped by a drug cartel.
I just remember everything getting dark. I'm dying.
When we step beyond the edge of what we know.
To open our consciousness to something more than just what's in that Western box.
And we turn.
I clinically died. The heart stopped beating. Which I was dead for 11.5 minutes.
My name is Dan Bush. My mission is simple: to find, explore, and share these stories.
I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor.
You're strongest when you're the most vulnerable.
To remind us what it means to be alive.
Not just that I was the guy that cut his arm off, but I'm the guy who was smiling when he cut his arm off.
Alive Again, a podcast about the fragility of life, the strength of the human spirit, and what it means to truly live. Listen to Alive Again on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
You've heard us talk about the benefits of Globe Life Insurance. Globe Life has been protecting families for generations. Globe Life is easy to buy with rates starting as low as $3.49 a month. There is no medical exam, just a simple application. Call Globe Life today at 1-800-251-5400 or visit globeliferadio.com. Again, that's 1-800-251-5400 or globeliferadio.com. All right, it's time now for us to recap today's Strawberry Letter. The subject is, I'm tired of hiding from the truth. A lady wrote this letter. She says she's been sleeping with her married best friend for the last 15 years almost, and they've been friends since high school. They're in their late 50s now, still doing the same thing, still sleeping with each other. Now, her best friend has a wife. And now she's getting ready to get married for the second time. And, so her side piece, who is the husband, didn't want her to do it. Well, he said that, she's going to be messing around and he may not ever see her. And, because she's married now and all of that. And she wanted to reassure him that that wouldn't be the case. They could still mess around, even though she's getting ready to get married. And what happened? They were texting back and forth. Her fiance saw the texts and boy, was he relieved and she was wondering, why are you so calm? Why are you not mad? He said, because I got a side piece too. So, you got a side piece. You get a side piece. I get a side piece. Yes. So, yeah. So the gist of the letter is, that, they're tired of hiding from the truth. They want to tell everybody. She wants her boyfriend, who is married, not the fiance, to tell his wife so she would know what's going on. But the husband said, that's not happening. I'm not telling my wife, which means that he didn't think his wife would go along with this. He doesn't know whether his wife has a side piece or not, but he knows that his wife won't go along with this. He said, if I tell my wife, that will be the end of us. So what she wants to know is, she can't see life without him. She loves them both, although they're both different sexually and every other way. But, she wants to know, what should she do here? Basically, what should she do? Junior?
Yeah, that's the question. What should we do here?
Yeah,
what y'all been doing, but you know what? Because you dating your best friend, you dating him, and you're also dating your fiance. You dating them. But I think you need to mention all your partners in here. Put the other partners you ain't thinking about. You also dating deaf. You need to put that in there too. You also dating deaf. So don't go in there and tell that woman nothing.
No,
she gonna kill you. Don't just talk about the man you dating. You dating deaf too. Y'all in a full blown relationship. You can't just sit up here and act like death is not involved. You're also dating funeral homes because they're going to chop his body around. You're dating cemeteries. You're dating a lot of people here. You're dating churches. You're going to have this funeral in. You're dating way more than just these two. You're dating everything. Okay? Yeah. You need to really think about this. Don't go in there and ask that woman nothing. Okay? You go in there and don't ask about Facebook. Did you see this? Don't see nothing about the Diddy trial. Don't say nothing about none of this. Don't mention nothing that's going on. Because if she find out and think you messing with her man, you gonna be dead. You ain't got to worry about this marriage counseling. You ain't gonna make it there. You're not gonna make it. You got to worry about this wedding you planning. You can start planning right now if she find out. You're not gonna make that wedding. You're not walking down no aisle. Now people gonna march in for you to view this body. That's what you're gonna be having. Because this woman is not playing with you. Okay, this woman's husband. She committed her life to this man, and you sit up here casually having sex in their house. Is you crazy?
That's
in their house.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. What is you doing?
While his wife is there. Yeah.
That's how I know you dating deaf.
How is that happening?
You know how fast you got to be doing it. You know how
quiet.
Mm-hmm. And quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're stupid for doing that. You really, really are.
Yeah.
And you're just stupid for doing that.
How big is this house?
What should we do here? You don't need to do nothing. Keep doing it and watch you find out. You ain't gonna make it to that wedding. Now we need to go pick out these colors, these flowers. We need to find out what we're gonna put on this obituary. You need to find out all of this.
A lot of slow singing and flower bringing.
It's gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. The words.
Who's gonna be the pallbearers?
Yeah, we
all
got
of
you
that.
pallbearers right now because everybody got to participate in this relationship. It don't make no sense.
Tell Hale she on the way.
Yeah, you dating, you flirting around with Hale.
Yeah. Yeah. But she says she loves now here's a question, guys. Can you be in love with two people at the same time? She says she loves the two men in her life, but for different reasons.
Oh.
And each one of them is so different in bed.
If it's like this, you can be in love with two women. Yes, you can. I love my mama and my wife. I love them both.
Good
you
answer,
can be in
Junior.
love like that.
Hey, like Family Feud. Good answer, Junior. Good answer. Good answer.
You be in love like that. This ain't what you doing. This ain't what you doing.
Yeah, this is, yeah. And he said clearly to her, that will never happen. When she asked him to tell his wife so, she could get involved, he said that will never happen. And if it does, it's going to end their friendship.
Yeah.
And his wife is not going to be with this unless she has a side piece herself. And there's no mention of that in the letter.
We got to get rid of this wife, Shirley. She's the part that's messing it all up. We've got to get rid of the wife. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to work if she's.
She has to have a side piece, the wife. You cannot tell me.
I know.
She's allowing this woman to sleep with her husband in her house.
I know. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that one. Yeah, I said that. Because she's too calm. She's too, she's too cool with all of this that's going on. All right. Thanks, guys. Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and on Facebook. And check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on the free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. You can download it today. Now, coming up at 46 minutes after the hour, we got Junior and Sports Talk right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You know who it is, Brandon Kyle Goodman. But this Pride Month, call me Messy Mother. On my podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, I'm diving into all the juicy stories and sizzling hot tea that'll make you want to live your life liberated and free. Nothing is off the table for our messy kikis. Plus, I'll be joined by star-studded guests like T.S. Madison and dragging messy stories out of guests like the one and only Katya. Ooh, I can't wait to get messy with you. Listen to Tell Me Something Messy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Show me how good it can get today, God, and show the rest of the world what we already know. It can't get no better than being hella black, hella queer, and hella Christian. My name is Joseph Reeves. I am the creator and host of Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian, a fully black, fully queer, fully human, fully divine podcast from iHeartMedia. To Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Why is a soap opera western like Yellowstone so wildly successful? The American West with Dan Flores is the latest show from the Meat Eater Podcast Network. So join me starting Tuesday, May 6th, where we'll delve into stories of the West and come to understand how it helps inform the ways in which we experience the region today.
Listen to The American West with Dan Flores on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The OGs of Uncensored Motherhood are back and badder than ever.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
And we're the hosts of the Good Moms Bad Choices podcast, brought to you by the Black Effect Podcast Network every Wednesday.
Yeah, we're moms, but not your mommy.
Historically, men talk too much.
And women have quietly listened.
And all that stops here.
If you like witty women, then this is your tribe. Listen to the Good Moms Bad Choices podcast
every Wednesday
on the Black Effect Podcast Network, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you go to find your podcast.
Looking for your next obsession?
Listen to High Key, a new weekly podcast hosted by
Ben O'Keefe,
Ryan Mitchell, and Evie Oddly.
We got a lot of things to get into. We're going to gush about the random stuff we can't stop thinking about. I am high key going to lose my mind over all things Cowboy Carter.
I know.
Girl, the way she about to yank my bank account.
Correct. And one thing I really love about this is that she's celebrating her daughters.
Oh, I know.
Listen to High Key on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast.